ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MPJ New Rock Album Review Show. I'm Nigel. Welcome to my panel, to Simon and to William. If you're tuned in for the first time, we review all the latest rock albums, rate them out of 5, tell you where they rate in our Hall of Fame, and whether they get to our shortlist for Album of the Year, who knows. Generally there's a few more of us, but we have Trish's notes and her ratings. But without further ado, who are we reviewing today? We are reviewing Crossfaith and their album Arc. Who are Crossfaith? Well, they're a Japanese metalcore band from Osaka, formed in 2006, which currently consists of vocalist Kenta, guitarist Kazuki, and Daiki, drummer Tatsuya, and keyboardist Terufumi. They're characterized by performing a style of metalcore with dubstep and other forms of electronic music influences for their intense live performances. Crossfaith released their first demo, Blueprint of Reconstruction, in 2008. The band later released their debut EP, Artificial Theory, for the Dramatic Beauty. That sums you two up, doesn't it? And through the Zestone Records in 2009, and their debut full-length album, The Dream in Space, in 2011. Through Tragic Hero Records, Crossfaith released their second EP in 2012 and acted as a promotional release to countries outside of Japan and so forth, and they've gone on from there. So, William, then, what did you think of Crossfaith?
Oh, do I like Crossfaith?
Ooh.
I do, quite a lot. I have liked them for quite a long time. Ever since a former colleague of our fine business introduced me to them via a cover song of theirs called Omen. A very good song, very good cover. Thank you, Kyle, for being such a musical fellow.
Brilliant.
No, I really like this. I'm a big fan of all that electronic, that hardcore electronic-y music, as is anyway. So much like Electric Callboy, sort of a band blending that electro with stupidly aggressive metalcore guitars and vocals. For me, it's just a fun time all around. It's a really great time. Again, contractual obligation to mention intro tracks. I also enjoyed this one quite a bit because it was just cool. It was just cool electronic noises and then some weird symphonic-y stuff as well. I thought it was quite fun. It got me in the zone. It's the kind of intro track that you'd expect when watching them live. It's what they're playing as they're all walking out onto the stage to then kick into it, which is one of the few cases where I can accept an intro track because it does serve its purpose rather than just completely needless stupid noise. It's definitely not for everyone, Crossfaith, which I'm sure we'll see later, but for me this is a phenomenal album. It's probably my most listened to one of this month, and it definitely shows in my enjoyment of it. Very, very cool time. Awesome band.
Right, what did young Trish say about it? Hold on a second. I keep moving notes. Terrible when people give you notes to read, isn't it? Eh?
Awful.
Arc, I love the opening track. It hits you and wakes you up with its new metal industrial sound. And that's how the whole album flows. Reminded me a bit of Wargasm, who I like, but Crossfaith are doing there is on a twist this genre of music, and it works. Good job for this converted rock chick to new metal, as you guys have taken it down the dark paths of new metalcore. Simon, you love everything Japanese and new metal. Surely it's a massive tick in the box and an intro song that works apparently.
Yeah, I was surprised I hadn't heard this band before, although Will mentioning that was their cover means I had heard this band before. I forgot it was them who did that cover. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed this album. There's a variety of styles on show here, Dam System being my favourite track, and I'm so sorely tempted to read it out as they've spelt the track name, but I'll save you all the pain. And then you have the softer sound of Afterglow, followed up by this almost like pop punk style of Cannabis. I'd have actually, in terms of like the album as a whole, I'd have liked Afterglow to appear more mid-album, but really, really minor gripe. The only detractors for me is the vocals are on the heavier side in some of the tracks, and it means that it's sort of they overpower the instruments, and sometimes the instruments sort of blend out into a bit of noise, which is a shame because everything else is really, really good. But I did just pick up on that slightly on some of the tracks. But overall, they hit a lot of high points. It's very enjoyable. Unfortunately, unlike Will, I don't like a 2-minute opening track. It just fades out, and then the next song plays, and it really bugged me. But I'm also just naturally dispositioned towards intro tracks in general. So my default is hating them. So you have to be really special to be anything other than hated. But yeah. Overall, I really enjoyed the album.
So my default for this sort of music is hate it. Similar to the intro track, and it has to be something really good to get above that hatred. And I didn't hate this album. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it because, again, it's one of my frustrations where the vocals is pissing me off, but the music is keeping me there. And so I go and then sometimes some of these tracks I could last maybe a minute, and then I go, no more, I can't take any more. But I wanted to because musically it was fun. It was just really cool. Some of the musicalities and the mixture that they did was quite cool. It just vocally didn't engage with me, and therefore as an album I wouldn't listen to it again and again and again. But there are elements of fun to this album that I enjoyed, a bit like Wargasm and a few other those bands musically, and some of the songs were okay. But there wasn't like sometimes there's a song like you look at Rat-a-tat-tat at the minute, just like probably the hit of the year, it's a cool song, it's on my playlist. But there was nothing in this album that went, I've got to put this on the cool playlist, I really want to listen to this particular track again. But it was okay. It was fun. But it wasn't terrible. It wasn't like some of the other metalcore stuff, which I just can't deal with whatsoever. There were elements to it that I enjoyed. So, let's find out how we're going to rate this album. Where will it fit? Will it get to our Hall of Fame? Will it get to our top albums of the year? Let's find out, shall we then? William, let's start with you then.
Well, it's not a 1.
No.
It's not a 3.
No.
It's a 5. Wow!
Wow! A 5! That's a bit of a rare treat from William these days. We used to get a lot of 5s from Will, but not so much these days. So that's.
Will has genre bias.
Yay! I like that genre bias. Trish, give it a 4. William, Simon, sorry.
Oh, yeah. I gave it a solid 4.
You did. And I give it a very solid 3. So, the good news is that its average rating is 4, which puts it into our Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Well deserved.
It's our 57th rated album of all time. Out of 392. It is 15th in our album of the year that we listened to. Will that be enough? It's currently in the range of a wild pick. Who knows? But it doesn't automatically get into our album of the year show. But it might still make it. It might get a wild pick. Who knows? We're halfway through. Let's find out then, shall we? Well, congratulations to Crossfaith and to Ark. Big thumbs up from Musical People and Journeys. And on that note, thank you to Simon, thank you to William. Please, everybody, if you leave a comment, if you disagree or agree with us, and certainly hit that like and subscribe button. Why don't you, damn you? In the meantime, goodbye and keep rocking.
Bye.